Hello there, it's me Kids Bowman, and welcome back to my channel my friends. I'm so glad to see you for joining me on this brand new video as we learn and listen through story time together. So I'll be doing another Disney read aloud stories for you guys, since I have been reading a previous over 100 titles of Disney books. I'm so glad you enjoyed it so far. So first of all, which book I've got, I'll go read to you. I've got Disney's Aladdin and the King of Thieves. It was published by Disney's Wonderful World of Reading and Grolier Book Club Edition. So, since I have read Disney Aladdin books, which is Aladdin, Return of Jafar, Aladdin and the White Baby Camel, some of you quite recognise those books already. I have decided to read this book to you. So, you have come to the right place to join me for story time. I am so honoured. Okay, so, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Iago was a buzz with excitement. Aladdin and Jasmine's wedding day was finally here. The Genie was busy attending to important details, such as parking the camels. Iago was busy inspecting the lavish gifts, and the Sultan was rushing about nervously, like any father of a bride. The Genie surveyed something one last time. "Something's missing," he said. "I just can't put my finger on it." "The groom?" exclaimed the Sultan. The Genie headed straight for Aladdin's place. "Excuse me," he shouted, "but somebody's going to be late for his own wedding." "Hold on, Genie, there's something I need," replied Aladdin. He opened an old wooden box. Inside was a dagger, decorated with a golden hand. "It belonged to my father," Aladdin said softly. The Genie was surprised. "I've never said a word about your father," he said. "He died a long time ago," explained Aladdin. "Maybe he could have shown me how to be a good husband." "What if I am no good at it?" "If your father were here, he had be proud of you, as I am," the Genie reassured him. "Now let's get out of here. We've got the wedding to go to." As the wedding hour drew closer, an odd collection of men slipped in with a guest. They were the 40 Thieves. Kassim, the King of Thieves, was their leader. He had came in search of one of the couple's gifts, the magic scepter. No one noticed the thieves, because everyone was waiting for the arrival of a bride. At last, Jasmine appeared. The guests watched as a beautiful princess walked down the aisle. "Well, we're finally here," said Aladdin, as two joined hands. "Together forever," Jasmine added, smiling. Meanwhile, the thieves were eyeing the gifts. "You create a distraction," Kassim instructed a thief named Sultan. Sultan hated Kassim because he wanted to be the King of Thieves himself. But Sultan did as he was told and started an elephant stampede. The elephants destroyed everything in their path. The guests scattered, and the wedding pavilion crumbled to the ground. Iago and the Sultan's guards tried to keep the thieves away from the gifts, but Kassim quickly found the scepter. Luckily, Aladdin managed to wrestle it away from him. The Genie scared off the rest of the thieves. Aladdin and Jasmine surveyed the ruins of the wedding pavilion. "What are they after?" the princess asked. Suddenly, A shaft of light shot out of a scepter. The thief sought my sight till I found the ultimate treasure, he said. I seen all that has been, and all that will be. The scepter contained an oracle that could answer any question it was asked. You could ask about your past, Jasmine told Aladdin. My past isn't just one question, it's a million questions, Aladdin replied. But mere questions about your past can be answered by your father. The oracle said it showed them a blurred image of a man's face. My father is alive, repeated Aladdin, not sure how to feel. Follow the trail of the 40 thieves. It told him your father was trapped within their world, thinking that his father was the thieves' prisoner. Aladdin bid Jasmine goodbye, then he flew off on the magic carpet with Abu and Iago. The thieves' trail was fresh and free, followed it to the beach. They watched as Kassim called open sesame. The water parted, and so did the cliffs on the other side of the bay. The thieves galloped into the opening. Aladdin, Abu, and Iago managed to swoop inside before the rock slammed shut again. Inside the cavern were the ruins of an ancient city, at the home of the 40 thieves. Aladdin stealthily made his way down the jagged rocks to where 40 thieves were gathered. We have nothing to show for our trouble in Agrabah, Sultan was saying. He turned and confronted the king of thieves. Suddenly, Aladdin recognized Kassim. The king of thieves was his father. Sultan raised his tiger claw to swipe at Kassim, but in an instant, Sultan was thrown to the ground. Run, yelled Aladdin. I've got him. Kassim looked confused. Why was the stranger helping me? I'm Aladdin. You are my father, Aladdin explained. As Sultan and Aladdin struggled, the dagger was with a golden hand landed at Kassim's feet. Now, the king of thieves had proof. This was indeed his son. Sultan told the others that Aladdin and his friends must die, but Kassim persuaded them to allow Aladdin to fight. Sultan, if Aladdin won, he could become one of the thieves. As a storm was raging as the two began, they battled atop the cliffs. At first, it looked as if Sultan would win, but Aladdin fought harder and harder, finally sending Sultan over the edge of the cliff. Imagine losing an enemy and gaining a son in the same day. Kassim rejoiced. Then he took his son to his secret lair. Kassim gestured to the riches piled high around the room. There is an ultimate treasure. It's on the vanishing isle. Compared to it, what you see here is nothing more than lunch money. The problem is the island is never in the same place twice. Aladdin looked at his father spectacularly. And what is this ultimate treasure? He asked. The 100 Midas, explained Kassim. It turns everything it touches to gold. That's why I left your mother. Aladdin's father continued. I wanted you to have everything, and a hand of Midas was the only way. I didn't want gold. I wanted a father. Aladdin asked gently. I still want one. Kassim shook his head. It's been so long. I wouldn't know where to begin. And admitted. Well, you can start by coming to my wedding, said Aladdin. What they didn't know was that Sultan had survived his fall from a cliff and was on his way to Agrabah. The thief met with Rasu, the captain of the Sultan's guards. Salak told Rasu the location of the thief's hideout and a magic phrase to open the cave. At dawn, Rasu and the other guards arrived on the beach. Open caraway. Rasu thundered. Nothing happened. Didn't you say it? It was open sesame. Faisal reminded him. The sea parted, and the Sultan's men soon reached the hideout. They surprised the thieves and took most of them as prisoners, but Rasu was disappointed, for Kassim was nowhere to be found. That's because a king of thieves had gone back to Agrabah with Aladdin to meet everyone before the wedding. Kassim was surprised to find that Aladdin had a genie. The genie was surprised to learn that a king of thieves was Aladdin's father. Next, Kassim charmed Jasmine and the Sultan. He let them think that he had been a prisoner of the 40 thieves. He suddenly didn't want them to know. He was responsible for ruining the last wedding. Soon, everyone went to get ready for the wedding. While Kassim dressed, Iago begged him to break into the royal treasury and steal the article. I promise you, bird. After this, I'll go straight, vowed Kassim. Aladdin and Jasmine were ready to begin the ceremony, but Aladdin's father was nowhere to be seen until Rasu grabbed him in, bound in chains. Your Majesty, meet the King of Thieves, Rasu announced. We caught him trying to steal again. Aladdin's feelings were hurt. Now I know why you really came back, he said to his dad. Your father is the leader of 40 thieves. A sultan asked him in disbelief. Aladdin, did you know who he was? Asked Jasmine. Aladdin faced her, saying, I thought I could change him. Miraculously, the Sultan sentenced Kassim and Iago to life imprisonment in the dungeon. Aladdin couldn't change his father, but he also couldn't stand the thought of him trapped in the dungeon forever. So that night, Aladdin broke Kassim out of jail, for his father asked Aladdin to go with him. Aladdin let him take the article and say goodbye. Aladdin didn't want to leave Jasmine the way his father had left him. Now Salak had to find another way to rid himself of Kassim. He went to see the thieves who were minded at the hideout. They were surprised to see him alive. Kassim betrayed you, Salak told them. How did you think the guard knew the magic words to part the sea and raid a hideout? When Kassim arrived to share the article with the thieves, they turned on him and took him and Iago prisoner, with the article promising to show them the way. The thieves went to sea to find a vanishing oil. Luckily, Iago managed to escape. Back at the palace, the Sultan scolded Aladdin for helping his father. I'm sorry for what I did, Aladdin apologised, but I had to help him. What else could I do? Jasmine spoke up. I know I would do the same for my father, she said. Let us put this matter behind us, suggested the Sultan. We have postponed this wedding long enough. Just then, Iago flew in and told them what had happened to Kassim. With a genie full of them, Aladdin and his friends hopped on a magic carpet and set out to save the King of Thieves. Out on the sea, the thieves' ship sailed toward a huge beam of light. Inside the light, The oracle spoke. You have arrived, it told them. The oracle and the light disappeared, leaving the thieves surrounded by fog. Suddenly, a water began to churn around them. They craft pitched violently from side to side. Then, a tempest began to rise out of the sea. The vanishing isle, said Aladdin, awestruck. On the back of a giant turtle, Jasmine gasped. Thieves went to explore the island. Sultan brought Kassim, whose hands were tied behind his back. Thinking quickly, the genie swooped down and bumped hard against the turtle. Then, as the island began to shake and rumble, the genie reported on the action. While the thieves were thrown off balance, Aladdin confronted Sultan, and the thief was knocked unconscious. Kassim and Aladdin raced higher on up into the temple until they found a statue that contained a hand of Midas. Aladdin removed the hand, careful to hold it by a wrist, and toss it to his father. Just then, Sultan arrived and threatened Aladdin. Fearing for his son, Kassim gave Sultan a hand of Midas. When Sultan touched it, he turned to a gold and fell into water that was rising in the temple. As the turtle dived deeper, the rising water forced Aladdin and Kassim to climb higher and higher. Now you have the ultimate treasure, Aladdin told his father. Rafi had reached safety. No, it's almost cost me our ultimate treasure, you, his father replied. Then he tossed a hand of Midas into the sea. It landed on the deck of a thief's ship, turning it to gold. Heavy vessel began to sink as the thieves jumped overboard. The magic carpet took everyone else back to Iago. That very day, to the delight of all, Aladdin and Jasmine were finally married. As newlyweds enjoyed the sunset ride on the magic carpet, they watched Kassim ride off in search of new adventures. Iago went with him. Kassim traded his old life as a king of thieves for a new one, as a father of a prince, and they suited everyone just fine. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed the story of Aladdin and the King of Thieves, which when Aladdin and Jasmine getting married in Aladdin. That's when Aladdin confront to find his lost father, who was captured by the 40 thieves. His father's name is Kassim. I think some of you remind you of a television film called Aladdin and the King of Thieves. So I think it's quite interesting to learn, to show our Disney moments from behind the magical legacy of our animation studios has been changed since 1923. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. And what comes down below, just let me know if you're making suggestions. I can do another reading out Disney stories for you guys. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll see you soon.